Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message for today. I've been feeling very inspired today to cover several subjects, but I decided to do them in separate videos because I don't want to overwhelm you with like a 30-minute video. And so you can select the topics that you're interested in hearing about. The first topic that I want to discuss, and again, I'll just start off by saying that every video that I put out, I set the intention to reach those people who will benefit from the video, because I'm well aware from experience and from running this channel that the twin flame journey is a very sensitive subject, that not everybody is on the same we're all on the same journey, but we're not on the same path necessarily on that journey, if that makes sense. Some people decide to take the scenic route, others want to take a shortcut, whatever is suitable for them, really. You know what I mean? I'm trying to describe it with these analogies as best as I can. So not everybody will resonate with all of my videos exactly at the time that I put it out. So that's why I'm just intending for anyone who will benefit it at that time to find it. That's why these videos are not time sensitive. They are timeless. They will apply to you whenever you see them. And yeah, that's what I basically am putting out there. So this topic, timing is everything, is certainly very triggering. I know for me, for the longest time, it was absolutely something that would wind me up. The words divine timing would just irritate me to no end, because I am I think I'm better now, but I definitely was a very impatient person. If I see something, if I want something, I'll do it. If I want to start a project, I'll start it there and then. And yeah, that's why I had so much trouble with patience. Patience was torture. I just couldn't find the strength at times to be patient, and it would irritate me so badly. But the longer you are on this journey, the more you understand why things had to happen the way that they did. And I had a ton of dream messages that would clarify to me about timing and why timing is everything. And also dreams. A lot of people tend to come to me for dream clarification because I look into the energies that it surrounds and what the dream actually could mean for you, because dreams are super mysterious. Even for me, they're so cryptic. You can't really understand what they mean. If you look at them, at face value, after you've had the dream or whilst you're dreaming. I know I'm a lucid dreamer, so I can kind of start to analyze whilst I'm dreaming. I'm like, what the heck is this showing me? And at the time, it's certainly very confusing and very difficult to even begin to understand. And so I always need at least a few hours, if not maybe a day or a day or two or three sometimes, to reflect on the dream and understand for me what it means. It seems easier for me to understand other people's dreams because I'm out of it. I'm not so emotionally invested in the situation. So I have a bird's eye perspective of the situation. And that's what I do with your readings, as I come to it with a bird's eye perspective, because it doesn't personally affect me. I'm not so deeply engrossed in all of the emotions, so I can see more clearly. It is always the case when you are not so emotionally obsessed or invested in something. It's so much easier to understand and so much more logical to understand. So that's where I'm coming from when I read for you. But for myself, I do need a bit of reflection time and a bit of understanding. So I've had a few dreams the past couple of nights where other people who are not my beloved will come in and show me things. I'm like, what the heck am I dreaming about you for? I'm not romantically interested in you. But I then reflect on the dream and understand that if they used my beloved, I would not have understand the message behind it at the depth and the detail that I now do when they've used other people. Because other people have a different backstory, have different things that they can show you from a different perspective. And you can't always see that with your beloved, because when I dream about my beloved, it's mainly focused on how does he feel? How do I feel about him? What is he trying to show me for us? And because it doesn't have that particular backstory that I have with these other people, I won't quite see it in the light that they intended. But you will feel the energy. The energy of your beloved can still be in the dream, whether you dream of them or not. You may dream of other people and what they're trying to show you through the other people, but the energy of your beloved will still be in the dream. That's why when I dream of these other people, but then I wake up, I'm like, I spent the night with my beloved, and I know it. I felt their energy, but it's definitely their energy just using other people for storytelling purposes so that you will understand why you dream this way and why the messages had to be conveyed through these other people, because I would be too short-sighted. I wouldn't be looking far ahead enough or from that bird's eye perspective had I just dreamt of my beloved, if that makes sense. So what they've shown me in these dreams is that timing is everything, because these people, yes, they're not my true love. I'm never going to romantically be involved with them. But these two people I've dreamt about had a very particular timing attached to their story and why I had met them. And I have met them in real life. But we are romantically never meant to be, and this is what they're very much aware of. But what they were showing me is that if my beloved fully came in to be with me now, physically in union, 100% invested, and yes, we're doing this, then it may not have worked out the way that we would have wanted. And what they're showing me is that the universe is saving us that frustration. Because when you get a ton of frustration on the physical plane, it's much harder to navigate your journeys and much harder to see things from a higher perspective or from your spiritual self. And then you tend to sabotage, and then it will prolong that stage of frustration and could turn into resentment that's actually unnecessary and will not help you on your journey. So this is why they're not always allowing you to see them at the times that you would want. It's actually to save you more aggravation, believe it or not. At the time and even years before, I was like, I don't understand. I really don't understand the point in keeping us apart. Like, why do we have to endure this? Why can't we just be together? But now I understand it's actually saving aggravation, saving unnecessary stress, unnecessarily worrying. It's allowing you more to focus within and on your higher purpose, and it takes away that frustration. That's why sometimes people come to me and they haven't even met their person physically yet, but they know, and I can feel that person is definitely in their energy and will present them physically when the time is right. I don't envy these people, but sometimes I'm thinking, do you know what? Things would have been easier if I hadn't known certain things about their physical existence, just to save me a bit of difficulty navigating. But then I'm thinking, no, we met physically for a reason, because I actually was that person that knew they were energetically around me since I was 20 or 19. So since about 2002, I knew, because that's when I was awakened to this journey of twin flames. And I hadn't met my person till 2016. So that is a long time, 14 years of having them in spirit, but never having met them physically, although believing and keeping the faith that one day I would. And I did. Yes, it took 14 years. And also, I don't want to scare people into thinking, oh my God, your journey is going to take decades. It's not going to, not necessarily. It's just whatever's right for you. I know at that time with me, and this is again why timing is everything. If I had met them when I was 19, firstly, that would have been stupid because my beloved is younger than me, and that would have been a crazy nonsense thing. You don't date someone, years younger when you're very young yourself. I mean, he would have been just a teenager. Ugh, can you imagine? Oh my God. So that's why the time wasn't right. That's why we met in spirit. That's why I had catalyst people introducing me to the subject of twin flames. Because had we met physically, it was not practical. And I completely understand now why timing was everything and still continues to be everything. Even, I was in an 8-year relationship in my not even mid 20s, early 20s till early 30s, and had I met my twin then, it still wouldn't have made sense because I was closed-minded. I thought my partner had to be older, so that's why my karmic partner who I was with at the time was much older than me. Well, not much, like under a decade, but still a good amount of years. I had a stupid belief that the guy had to be older and that as a woman I had to be younger, and all of this stupid, preconceived notions and expectations of how you think love and romance should be. So again, timing wasn't right then. That's why it took me 14 years to meet him, because during the 3 years before I met him, I was already single. I could have met him at any time when I was single, but I didn't meet him for another 3 years because I had to be ready and open to meet someone younger than me. I wasn't for the longest time. Even after I'd broken up with my long-term relationship, I was still looking for guys older than me. I was still looking for guys of a certain, I don't know, they had to fit a certain profile, and I couldn't have them fit my beloved because he was completely out of that profile, if that makes sense. So again, I had to become more open, more accepting, more willing to be with somebody his age, his profile, to accept certain things about us. But then once I was open enough, we did meet, I understood, okay, this makes sense. I get it. I may not have understood at the time when we went into separation why we had to separate again once we finally met, but now I do. Now I get it. Now I understand that I had to become more of me. I had to do this for a job, I had to be myself. I was born a medium. I could interact with spirit from ever since I was born, really. I can't remember a time when I couldn't. And for the longest time, I allowed that to fall into the background of my life because it didn't fit in with religious expectations, with family's beliefs, and I was afraid to be myself because I didn't want to feel more isolated. I already felt very misunderstood and very isolated, but I didn't want to further dig myself deeper into that kind of hole, where I'm completely isolated and nobody understood me at all. I thought, my God, I already feel so alienated from everybody. I don't want to make it this worse for me. So I hid from my talents, I hid from my gifts, and I wasn't me. I was just being a very small fraction of who I really am. So this journey, this being apart, is really helping me. The time in between meeting him and now meeting him and trying to reconnect and reunite for good, is making me more of who I am. And that's why timing is everything, because you can't just fully become who you are if you've hidden from yourself for so long. So again, also, one of the aspects why I now believe timing is everything and why it's a good thing is because I've always had this message from him very, very strongly through telepathy, is that when he's back, he is back for good. He's not going to be back and forth, in and out of my life. That's not how it's supposed to be. And that's why I believe that the universe made this situation the way that it was, why we met a couple of weeks before he was due to leave the country. It was all for a reason. And I understand that now. It was so that we would have enough time. We needed to meet in person anyway to realize that we were there, that we were real, that we are a twin flame couple who will one day reunite. But we had to have physical evidence that we do exist, because we can't just keep connecting in spirit not knowing if this person is even real. That's why we had to meet in person, but then we had to be physically going our separate ways once more to become more of who we are. And I know I'm not the only one going on this journey. I know he has been through a lot too during this time. But this is all to make things right, to make things genuinely who we are supposed to be. We can't be meeting under false pretenses or under a facade and pretending to be something we're not. So that's why we are now being given this opportunity to reconnect with ourselves so that we can then reconnect with each other when the time is right. And for those who are on a similar pathway to me, you will understand this message, and I hope that this encourages you and helps you see things from a perspective that is helpful to you. So I'll leave my other subjects for the next videos. You are welcome to watch them if you find that they will resonate with you as well. And just to let you know, I am doing 25% off for bundle purchases. So you buy 3, you get your 4th one free until the 29th of this month, 29th of October, which is for the new moon in Scorpio offer. If you are interested, all the details are in the description. I thank you also very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.